you know, apologize. We were going out of town and ended up staying all week, which was nice, but I couldn't record, so there was no way to pre-warn of the vacay. But I don't know. Oh well, I'm still here if you care, and we'll do it. So, episode 91 of the Good Old Wrestling Podcast, live here YouTube, and also on any podcast aggregator that you have. And let's roll for the Raw review show. So we open into this one with the man, Becky Lynch, on Raw again. And it wasn't long at all before she was accompanied by her man. And so we have a match there with her and Andrade and his little girl, Vega. And Becky should have just really pinned her in like the first minute, more than likely, but she didn't. And that's okay. This is a preview of Extreme Rules, I guess, which is Sunday. Yeah, this Sunday. But, at one point we get Lacey Evans coming in to interfere and Becky running out into the crowd and doing her attack. And Rollins has to come out and break that up and do all of that. So, yeah, it's just a preview of what we have going into Extreme Rules, and yeah, it should be an interesting time overall. So we'll see how that goes, and yeah. So sorry, I got to stop playing with this. Then we get, after the match, we get her leaving, or them leaving, they leaving, and we get Baron Corbin and Lacey Evans with the ambush on the Ram and the beat down, and just more setup for Extreme Rules. And that should be a good one. I'm looking forward to that. We'll see how it goes. Now, Heyman passes these guys on the way to the ring and kind of looks at them and then promises that Lesnar is going to cash in Sunday. And this leaves some question now. So, are they going to have Seth and Becky lose their belts, and then we can have good old what's his face Lesnar cash in on Corbin? That's a good question to have. It leaves a lot of opening for what they're gonna do. Just on a glance, I don't see Corbin and Lacey being champions, but we'll see how that happens. That scenario would still put Lacey Evans as your women's champion to go alongside Bailey on the other side. So I don't know. Well, interesting. Should be interesting. And so we go back, show the highlights of last week that I missed my show for. Sorry again. That Strowman and Bobby Lashley went through the wall into the electrical room. Everything caught on fire. 2 ambulances took him out. And so, yeah, that was fun and exciting on a boring episode. If I had to pick a week to miss, that's it. So, we get Drew and Shane backstage, and they see a random guy, and they're like, "Hey, I hear you're the best garbage man in the world. Is that right? And how would you like to team with Roman Reigns for a match tonight?" And he's all speechless. So apparently the way it is, because Undertaker's not going to be there. So you're going to have a tag with Roman and some contender that they get to pick, and versus Drew and Shane. And if Undertaker interferes, then Undertaker cannot wrestle as his tag partner on Sunday. So there we go. That's it. We move into the Usos versus the Revival, and they're also teaming up with The Miz and Elias, and they so we have a 6-man tagger going on, and yeah, that's a pretty interesting matchup there. You already know how this one should go, but we'll see. That's why they wrestle them. So they're still making matches leading up to Sunday. So we get this is a elimination tag. So best 2 of 3, and we get the first one down, and then Elias decides to just take off. He's done. And so we end up with a 2-on-3. And Revival, they did a good job. They're improving. And so Dash and Wilder were coming to play for real. And so Miz is all fired up in the corner and runs in with the skull-crushing finale. And now we are 1-1. And third fall comes like quick behind it, so it kind of ruined the whole thing. But the Usos take it, and yeah, it was a meaningless match. Just Sunday setup. That's all it is. So we get Drake Maverick, or Hornswoggle, as R-Truth would tell it, and they're showing like his honeymoon, places where they went, and his fiance is like, we live in Orlando, so we didn't travel anywhere, we didn't do anything. And he's still just hyping it up. Pictures of the belt that are over her face and just not caring. And then the whole 24/7 loser brigade, and it's just, this belt's a joke. They need to retire this mother as quick as possible and just be done with it. But then we get Mysterio out. So Ray's back quick, man. He even said it's been 6 weeks, and he rehabbed harder and beat all the predictions. And I'm surprised to see him back this quick, especially since he gave up a title when he got hurt. It's not usually a short rehab thing. It's a longer rehab thing. But anyway, he's going to issue an open challenge to anyone who wants to take it, and he wants to wrestle. So Now, we I'm assuming Samoa Joe, but he's all tied up in this why give Fat Boy a title chance run, maybe so he can lose again and then be done. But he issues the open challenge, and I'm thinking, why don't Aleister Black do that instead of standing in the back, um, not answering a knock on the door, and just talking slowly in a way that none of us give a shit about. But anyway, who's gonna come? For some reason, we get Bobby Lashley. So you get this just massive heavyweight coming out to battle Ray. Okay. So we Ashley ends up winning the thing. Ray put up a fight, good 619 in, and then he just decides to make an example of poor old Rey Mysterio. Grabs his mask, drags him up the ramp. Yeah, just stands there like he's waiting for something, and then just picks him up, toss him through the wall where him and Strowman went, and by then the refs are out. Everybody's trying to stop him, and then anyway, he grabs the mic, and Strowman last week, I was the only man standing, and this week I'll be the last man standing. Yada, whatever. So we get an interview on AJ Styles, and or try to. He's like, I have nothing to say about last week, and get out of my face. So full heel after the turn and asshole move. So there it is. And we will wait 1 second on podcast commercial. All right. So we get No Way Jose versus Cesaro. Where's Sheamus gone, man? Is he taking time off? Is he hurt? I got to look that one up because, yeah, Cesaro solo just seems weird at this point with all the time that he and Sheamus have put in. Just seems weird. But, oh well. So Cesaro finally gets him in like a Boston Crab type thing, wins that. Kind of another C match for the night, so to speak. And then we get the Street Profits backstage talking a bunch of smack. And it's funny because I want to get into NXT. Don't have the extra time in my life, but I figured I'd give it a shot. And so I watched like 2. And the Street Profits were the champions, and they were the ones I remember. And I'm like a minor league whisperer because now they're here. We'll see. So we end up on a Nikki Cross Bailey interview together because they have this beat the clock challenge thing going on. So whoever wins gets to pick the stipulation on Extreme Rules. If you're not familiar, so Bailey wrestles someone, and then Nikki Cross wrestles someone, and the competitor that wins the fastest wins. I don't like these matches just because you're basing on the assumption that they're going to just win. So you already know who's going to win. So it's bothersome, at least to me. And, oh well. So we get our truth Carmella hunting down Drake for the 24/7, and he comes running with all the little losers in a row. Just got to throw that in. And then we get, just, I'm mentioning this just because you get the Viking Raiders with a new intro, new hype, and, they beat some no name so quick that I don't remember who they were wrestling. So, but then you get Drake and the 24/7 crew, yada yada. I don't spend a lot of time on it. I think it's garbage. I don't like it. They hyped it as something great, a new belt, and yeah, no, don't like it. So, but what I do like is the man Ricochet, man, cutting his promos and speaking on AJ Styles and the cheap beatdown after the Samoa Joe win last week, the heel turn, and the whole replay of it, man. AJ Styles, and So anyway, yeah. So we get him versus Gallows, and he made a statement in there that he used to respect and love AJ Styles, and AJ did this cheap shot thing, and he knows that it's not just him. He's got to wrestle three people, and so we get him versus Gallows, and of course he beats Gallows, and then AJ jumps on the ring and is like, so he talking all that shit about wrestling two or three people. So why don't you do it, champ? Here's Anderson. And so he does it and beats Anderson. And then as soon as it's over, AJ Styles, man, jumps on him, three-way attack, the beat down, and then has the balls to tell him, he's, hey, look, I'm a good guy, so just stay down. So you have no excuses on Sunday, and stay down. And as they're leaving, Ricochet gets up and just like normal, get up to leave, and all three back to the ring, forearm to the both the phenomenal forearm, and while they're all holding them, Styles in the club, the beat down. I don't know how I feel about Styles as a heel, the face that runs the place. But, him in a three-way, be a heel for a little while. He was kind of getting soft as a face. It's kind of when he talked, he's like, the other person would talk all this smack, and then he'd be like, I really respect. I don't know. We'll see. Could be a good thing. So we get Truth chasing down Drake, referee on his back, and whatever. So then we get still on the prowl, I guess. I thought Shane and Drew found their man in the competitor, but they see a janitor limping, and they offer him $5,000 to be Roman's partner. Don't even have to move. You can just like stand there for $5,000. Finally, they talk him into that. So, yada. He will get you a mask, so no one has to know because you're not part of the brand. Demeaning him. What a douche. Anyway, I don't know. I say douche. He's supposed to be a douche. He's a heel. But when you start just getting into what people do for a living to make ends meet, yeah, you're no better than that dude. So anyway, fuck. So beat the clock. Let's see who can beat the clock, so we can get Sunday in full effect. So first, we get Bailey versus Sarah Logan. Sarah Logan's not bad, but she's gonna lose. And finally she wins, like 4 minutes, 36 seconds or something. And then 4:32. My bad, 4:32. And then we get Nikki Cross, Dana Brooke, Now, Dana, she's humming around, comes outside. Bailey's watching the match after, tagging her, talking, wasting time on purpose. It was pretty funny. You get Nikki jumping out and jumping in on time, throws Nikki out. Anyway, so Nikki gets back in and ends up beating Dana Brooke and beating her faster than 4:32. We've got a contender. So, how's this gonna work? So, she gets the whole mic. Bailey, I got something to say to you. Your face to your face. I'm gonna show you what it means to be a real friend, and you need to find a friend, and that way you can have a friend as good as Alexa Bliss. And so her stipulation, 2-on-1 handicap. So Sunday, Bailey has Cross and Bliss for a handicap. Then Bailey just beats her ass after that, which was pretty cool. And so it works. But my question though, this is a handicap. Maybe they'll turn it into three-way. Maybe Cross will get. I see this as the falling out. Maybe falling out. Potential falling out between Cross and Bliss. We'll see. They get Mike and this Mike guy and his pregnant wife. Whatever. She telling me he's not man enough. I don't know if this is your baby. That's just ridiculous. So, anyway, we get Street Profits again. They'll be coming soon, I imagine. They'll probably lose their belts next NXT pay-per-view. Then come to... Because tag teams are weak right now in the big leagues. So, that's it. They do their predictions. You got them picking all the heels. The other guy looking at him like, what? Anyway, so... we move on. The grand finale, the main event for the evening with the big dog. The suddenly likable big dog, whatever. So, yeah. For this one, it's a tag team match. One fall. Gary the Garbage Man comes in all limpy as his partner with the mask and pads on his stuff. So, of course, they all beat the shit out of Roman. And then they want to pull Gary in and beat the hell out of Gary. The man that was paid $5,000 just to stand there. Just stand there. And, yeah, so... Gary the Garbage Man. And, anyway, so... he put up a good fight, man. Over the ropes, spins, jumps out, all this shit. It was awesome. So, and then Roman jumps back in with a Superman punch and just setting up this match. More of like one of those tribute old man matches, so to speak, whatever you want to call them, for Sunday. But anyway, we get... we find out that the man behind the mask was not Gary, which you kind of figured by the moves. But he is Cedric Alexander of 205 fame. And anyway, so Cedric, welcome. And cool. That wraps up another week. And yeah. So, I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for listening once again. Find us at the GOW Podcast Show on the Twitter and here on YouTube and everywhere you get your shows. Thanks again. We'll see you tomorrow on the SmackDown. Peace.